my berries, it's Sherry Berry. I'm back giving you a story time. As you can see, it's kind of a pretty serious topic, especially in the black community. I'm just going to just tell my story how I first got pulled over, and it was the scariest moment I could ever think of as of right now. That was really serious, especially like I said, for the black community. So here how it goes. So I'm leaving my house. I'm just driving. I'm probably about 5 minutes away from my house, not long at all. So I'm driving. I'm in the left lane. So I'm driving in the left lane, and there's a car in front of me, and it was gonna turn left, and I was gonna get over to the right, but I saw a car was coming, so I'm like, okay, let me just wait till this car, turns so I can just, proceed down the road. So I'm driving now. I wait, and then there's a car coming, and I realize it's a police car. Like, not like the regular, like I'm from Chicago, not the regular blue and white truck. It was the it was like the black truck, like the black Ford big trucks. I probably just started a picture. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really get afraid. I didn't have anything to be afraid of, so I did not get afraid. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until like they go or whatever, but they didn't go, like they stopped. So I'm like, okay, so I just kept going because the car had already turned. I didn't need to go right anymore. So I'm driving, and then my turn was coming up. I have to turn right. And then just to remind you, I am in it's a bad neighborhood. It is a bad neighborhood. We have crimes, we have shootings, I live on the west side of Chicago. If you're not from Chicago, it's a bad area, point blank. And so it's a lot of crimes, a lot of cameras on the streets, just in case something happened, they have like cameras or whatever. But anyway, proceeding back to the story. So my right turn is coming, so I use my signal, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror going right because I need to see if somebody's coming, and I'm 110,000, 150, 300,000 sure that I use my turning signal to go right. And my turn is almost up, and then it was a car door because the cars are parked like to turn right. So the car is parked, but then the car door opens. So I go a little to my left. I'm still in the right lane. My wheel probably go about this much over to the right, to the left lane, because I need to get over because I don't want to hit the person that's getting out the car or their car door. So I go over a little, and then 3 seconds later, the siren was come on, and I am shooken, and I'm just like, and I was like, me? I kept saying out loud, I was like, me? So I like pulled over, I put it in park, and I'm just like sitting there, and my heart is jumping. Like, it's jumping so hard. And it's like, I look in my rearview mirror, and I'm looking in my side mirror, and I see 4 to 5 police officers coming out the car with flashlights. So remind you, it's dark outside. It's like 7, 8 o'clock. It's dark outside. And I'm just like, why dude? It's like it was more intense because their lights was on. I was by a gas station, so their lights was on, and it's just like, it was just so many lights just like flickering, and it just like a lot. My heart was just, I was numb. Like, I was numb, and I just thought about, anyway. So I'm looking in my rearview mirror and my passenger side mirror, and I'm seeing them. They have their flashlights, and they're like touching the car, and it's just like, and they're doing a lot of like touching, and they looking in my car. Like, they look, well, it's my sister's car, so I was driving my sister's car, and they looking at her car. She don't have any tinted windows, so when they was looking at her car, you can see through the car, especially with a flashlight. You can see all up and through the car. You can see the trunk, you can see under the seat, everything. You can see everything, especially with a flashlight. And they just looking through. So I'm trying to see, like, don't you need a search warrant to like look in someone's car? But you're doing that involuntarily. Like, I was really confused about that. So I'm looking to my right, and then I hear, and I like turn to my right because he's like, it's a police officer at the door, like this close to the window. So I roll it down because my sister has a manual roll down, like she has a manual car. So I'm rolling down the windows, and I was like, yeah, what's the issue? Like, why was I pulled over? I tried to be as less combative as I could think of, because I didn't want them to think that I was combative, and I just was like, just stay calm. So I'm like, yeah, what was the issue? And he was like, you didn't use your turning signals when switching lanes. I said, I'm sure I did. He said, well, I'm gonna need your license. And he said something else, and then he Another officer was trying to make me let the window down on my passenger side. So I'm like leaning over because, as I said, my sister's car is manual. So I'm like rolling the window down there. And first I was so scared because I'm like, what if they think I'm reaching for something? Like I have to go over to the seat and roll down the window. And I'm just like, I was just so scared to do anything that involved me reaching for something. He was acting like, is this your car? I'm like, no, it's not. This is my sister's car. And he was like, oh, where you going to? And I told him where I was headed to. And that's when I gave him my license. And I'm just waiting in the car, and they still searching the car. They're in, like, the person that I rolled the window down for, like they all like in the car, and I'm looking like, I just get my hands like folded in front of me, just like, wait. So he gave the my license to someone else to run my license, and he was just like standing by the car. He was just looking around, standing by the car, and I was like, I'm sorry, what did you pull me over for again? Like I'm confused. And he was like, oh, you didn't use your turning lane when turning. I was like, where? I was like going right, going left. When did I not use my turn lane? He was like, I don't know, somewhere back there. Like he didn't know, because a real officer, if I did do that crime, if I did do that illegal switching lanes without, you know, using my signal, a real officer would have said, yes, you didn't use your signal when going right or going left. It would have had more detail. But I realized, and after then like talking to my parents and stuff, I realized that I was just stopped because I was a black person driving in a car. Like they was, and it's like, especially in those neighborhoods, it's like they just want to check anything. It was harassment. Like it was pure harassment, because it was nothing that I did to get pulled over for at all. So when I asked him that, he kind of stuttered like, oh, it was just it was somewhere back there, like, yeah, you didn't use it. And I was like, but I'm sure I did. And I explained, yeah, I used my signal going right, but I didn't when I went slightly to the left because I didn't want to hit nobody coming out their car. And he kind of cut me off, and he was just like, well, no, we ain't gonna give you no ticket, so just calm down. Like he basically told me, shut up, we're not even gonna give you a ticket. Here go your license, now go have a good day. And I was like, and he gave me my license, and I was like, okay. And I rolled my windows up and I drove in silence. And it was just like, I see and I hear about all what police have done, and it's just like, for whatever odd reason, like I just feel like it would never be done to me. Like I never thought I would be pulled over for police harassment. Also, the police asked me if I had any drugs or weapons in the car. If I did, you would have saw them. You was all in the car with the flashlight. You would have saw everything, unless I had it in my glove compartment. That's the only thing you did not check. But you checked everything else, because you was all under the seats. It was 4 to 5 police officers all around me. And I'm just like, what did I do? I just thought about even Sandra Bland, because she was pulled over without using a signal. And I was like, I can't be combative, because it's like, I want to ask them as well, don't you supposed to have a warrant to check my property, or check, you know, what I'm driving in or whatever, my car, my house, anything that belongs to me? But I did not want to seem like I wanted an issue. It's really sad. It's extremely sad. I pictured myself on those webcams, you know, the one from the dashboards from the police cars. It was just a sad moment for me, because I just pictured that video quality of me being either harassed or anything. If I would have asked that question, like I felt like they would have did something extra, because he just seemed like that type of person, cutting me off and not even knowing what he pulled me over for. Well, he said that, but not even having details. Like you pulled me over for absolutely nothing at all. Because when I asked you, why don't you pull me over, you said no signals when I turned. But when I explained, you couldn't even, you know, explain to me where I, you know, didn't make my signal turn. Like I never would have thought that I would have been in that situation, and that was just wishful thinking of me, because I am a black person, and I'm a black person in the bad neighborhood, and they feel like they want to do justice by stopping black people, thinking they're gonna find something. No, you didn't find nothing on me. It's wrong black person. Wrong black person. And like I just felt I just thought about all the other black individuals that was stopped and harassed by the police, especially the ones that we know of, like Sandra Bland and Mike Brown, Eric G. I can't think of his last name, but it's just sad. I just want all of us, all the minorities, black and brown skin, to be careful. I want you guys to be aware. Even with that movie, I really want to see that movie because the boy got killed. They was pulled over. I didn't see the movie, so I don't know what really happened. But it's just like, I really want to see that movie, and I just want everybody to be aware. I want everybody to be careful when they are, when you guys are pulled over by a police officer, because I don't want it to be you, that they have to, use force against. Like, I really want you guys to be careful. I want you guys, because I can sometimes be a combative person. I don't care who you are. If I have to say something, I'm going to say it. And I had to realize, like, that's just not my place. Like, I could not do that. I felt very shut down, and that's not good at all. Like, I felt very, don't say nothing or you might lose your life type thing. And it's so sad because you never want to feel like that towards anybody. But I felt like I shouldn't say anything. I felt like the question that I even asked was even a little too much. Like, I felt like that was kind of pushing it. I want you guys to know your rights. First of all, I didn't. I probably should have said something, but I feel like we black. We are black individuals, and we just gotta be careful. I just want you guys to be careful out there, whether you're getting pulled over, whether anything. Be on the next scene saying a police officer killed another black person. I don't want it to be you, so I want you guys to be careful. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. People probably argue and say, no, you need to know your rights, you need to do this, do that, and absolutely. But if you don't, I really want you to be careful. But I really want you to be respectful, so you can continue to drive, so you can continue to go about your day. And that's the end of the story time, and I hope you guys learned something from it, whether to do what I did or do something else, whether you agree or disagree with whatever I'm saying. I just want you guys to be careful, because being black is not easy. It's not easy at all. And I'm peacing out, my berries, and I will see me in my next video. Peace. Police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad 'cause I'm brown.